Welcome to another edition of Jamaica Calling, as we continue to provide you with a glimpse of what to expect at the upcoming Jamaica Diaspora Conference 2015. In today's show, we speak to two phenomenal youth leaders who continue to hail brand Jamaica on the international stage. Miss Erin Lu Hing and Miss Kenyatta Duncan. Both ladies reside in the United States of America, and they're part of a greater thrust to re-energize youths of Jamaican descent living in the USA. The importance of the diaspora community cannot be overlooked, and captivating the attention of the younger generation, especially the third and fourth, is quite significant. So how important is this very unique group? Miss Lu Hing represents the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast Advisory Board. She is referred to as a first-generation Jamaican American. She was born to Jamaican parents who moved to New York. Miss Hing believes the advancement of Jamaica's developmental goals is just one of the avenues youths of Jamaican descent can support.
As Jamaica tries to move forward in its growth and development, it needs to be able to tap into that larger body and that larger community in order to get where it needs to go. And so that's where the diaspora comes in. The diaspora members are vital to Jamaica's development in that we can become involved in things like Jamaica's growth in youth entrepreneurship or growth in Jamaica's logistics hubs and the different infrastructure that Jamaica is currently developing to move forward. So the diaspora has always been very instrumental to Jamaica, especially in the more traditional forms that we know of, such as remittances, and we are a large part of not only Jamaica's economy, but tourism in Jamaica and its livelihood and maintaining that progress. So the diaspora members are absolutely vital.
Ms. Hing explains that a lot of work goes into keeping descendants connected. As a future leader of the Northeast Division, she organizes several initiatives that provide a platform for sharing ideas.
What we're working to do is to help those who are already either already doing things in the diaspora for young people or who are trying to get started. We're trying to make sure that we stay together and stay connected and close-knit. So, for example, I'm going to be putting on an event at the end of this month to help bring together all young people of Jamaican descent in the Northeast, as well as any youth leaders that are doing things, so that we can continue to network with each other to see how we can stay connected with Jamaica and how we can stay connected and committed to doing things, because youth are very vital to Jamaica's future, and we have a passion that's unparalleled with anything else. So we're working closely with encouraging, nurturing, mentoring both individuals and organizations that are doing things for youth on a continual basis. So there are going to be two things. There's going to be an event here in the United States in New York out of the Consulate General's office in New York on May 29th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And that's meant to gather all young members of the diaspora in the Northeast, as well as organizations that do things for young Jamaicans. And so we're going to have it, it's going to essentially be a fact-finding opportunity, and it will give young people the opportunity to voice their concerns, to ask any questions, to understand how they can get involved, and to talk about what their experiences as a diaspora are, so that not only can we strengthen each other to do more for Jamaica, but to strengthen ourselves here and understand ourselves.
Education, health, and youth entrepreneurship are just some of the areas Jamaican Americans are keen on improving. Ms. Hing says the passion for Jamaica land we love is real, and the upcoming Jamaica Diaspora Conference, to be held in Montego Bay, St. James on June 13 to 18, is an ideal meeting place.
The Jamaican government, as well as the consulate here, are beginning to realize that there is a large, almost treasure trove, so to speak, in that particular group that you mentioned. Those of Jamaican descent who may not have been born in Jamaica, but their parents were born in Jamaica. For example, As a future leader, I was born here in the United States, but both of my parents are from Kingston. And so they always instilled a rich heritage in myself and my siblings and instilled that love for Jamaica. So even though I was here and I'm American, I always thought of myself as Jamaican, and my whole world was Jamaican. So that love is alive not only for myself, but many, many others like me. And we're just as passionate as if we were born in Jamaica. And even though we may have that distance, sometimes when we go to Jamaica and when we do eventually make that visit, it can feel more like home than you might think. So we're working closely with organizations, like for the youth portion, for example, we're working closely with organizations such as Junior Achievement, which is up and growing. So what we're trying to do is pull together our resources to actually come down there and in person do things for Jamaican youth. Or Jamaica has recently given iPads to all school-age children, so young people here in the diaspora are working to do e-mentoring for young people there in Jamaica. So for example, as youth are trying to move through their education system and let's say try to pass their CSC exams, they may not always have somebody that's there to help guide them in the right way. So we're willing to do those things, to mentor, to guide, to be there to support in any way.
Meanwhile, Miss Kenyatta Duncan is another trailblazer. She represents the diaspora community in Midwest USA. That encompasses the states of Illinois, Minnesota, Missouri, and Michigan. Miss Duncan says youths play a critical role in keeping the diaspora connected.
From the future leaders' perspective, it is so important for the third and fourth generation Jamaican diaspora to be involved and to really know what's going on, not only in their city with their different Jamaican groups, but also with what's happening in Jamaica. I really believe that if our age group is involved, then we will create involved adults. It's a cycle. And so I think that on the flip side, if we're disengaged and if we don't know what's going on, then really the Jamaican diaspora will, it can die out. It cannot be as strong in the future. So I really, really believe that in order to sustain just a network of Jamaicans all around the world, it starts with the youth. And also just with adults as well. Obviously, it's really important for everyone of all ages to just know what's going on in Jamaica, but especially this age when we're, slowly getting into our careers and we can give back to Jamaica and give back to those of Jamaican descent. Once we get more stabilized in our lives, I really think that it's important for us to know the importance of us getting involved now. I think that there is so much strength in numbers, and there's only so much that an advisory board can think about, can talk about. If the diaspora creates more spaces for young people of Jamaican descent to get together, to get to know one another, and also to help each other out in different areas, I believe that that would be very, very instrumental and helpful for all the future endeavors that the diaspora wants to do, and just for Jamaica as a whole. So just creating more events, spaces, leaders who can really push people to get involved would be great on the diaspora's behalf.
Social media is just one of the methods of communication the Midwest diaspora community uses to stay informed.
In Chicago, the main link is social media. Our generation, I would say from age even 16 to even 40s, everyone's on the Facebook, Twitters, the Instagrams, and I believe that that is the best way right now to get in contact with people and to let them know about events, to let them know about things like the Jamaican Diaspora Mapping Project that happened last year. And so social media has been the best way to communicate. And that's really what I've been doing, and other people. Not only, if people are not on the advisory board, they can also spread news to each other. And so there's like Facebook pages. Of course, we have email and different social media outlets. So I believe that that has been probably the primary outlet for letting people know what's going on within this region.
Ms. Duncan believes the efforts by the government to continuously improve the diaspora, especially through the upcoming conference, are commendable.
You also get to meet so many different people, people maybe from your region that you've never met, or people from Jamaica that you never met. And it just obviously makes the ties so much stronger. And from a young person's perspective, it can really be a preview to what to work on when we become full adults within our careers and within our fields of interest. And so I believe that it's extremely important to go to the conference.
In the meantime, she's encouraging the government to do more to promote activities the diaspora community can tap into. She pointed to the recent visit by U.S. President Barack Obama to Jamaica as one of the highlights.
So I really believe that if Jamaica and the Jamaican diaspora really just reach out to those of Jamaican descent, to remind them of what's going on, to remind them of things that are happening, just like the conference that's coming up and things like that. I believe that that can be a good reminder for people of my generation to get excited about Jamaica. I know with President Obama visiting, I think it was last month or 2 months ago, that was like a big thing, and that spilled into a lot of outlets for local cities in Chicago, and local towns in Chicago and local cities all over the United States found out that Obama went to Jamaica. And so things like that got people more excited. It was like, wow, that's so cool that Jamaica is starting to put themselves back on the map in so many different ways. And so I believe that the excitement is still there, but people have to be reminded of it because there's so many other things that can catch our attention, and sometimes we just forget to give back to our homeland. But it's very, very important. And I believe that more people should become more excited about getting involved with the diaspora and their local Jamaican organizations.
For more information on the conference, please visit jamaicandiaspora.gov.jm. The 2015 Jamaica Diaspora Conference, June 13 to 18 at the Montego Bay Convention Center in St. James, linking growth for prosperity.